Hey, it's UPB here from OptionMillionaires.com. Talked about the S&P 500, and I talked about the Abenomics low that we hit back in November. Let me pull back the chart. You can see the yearly chart here. I've highlighted all the reversals. Okay, all the reversals started in November 2012. All of them have been V bottoms, save the recent action was a W bottom. But look at the action we have here: V bottom, V bottom. And I was talking actually of this being some sort of cup and handle formation. We're going to see a continuation to the upside. Well, we're getting that continuation to the upside. This is more like a ladle formation, not a cup and handle. This is a ladle. Some there's a little chunky soup in there, Reggie White chunky soup. And look at the reversals we've had since November. I mean, this is textbook. Same thing we're seeing now. And so I think we're going to see significant upside. We're going to hit new all-time highs within the next couple weeks. This market is going to again defy the bears. Every kind of decline we've seen over the course of the last year. Well, go back 5 years. I mean, look at the chart. I put it up at Option Millionaires. You want to check it out? Did a couple articles about it. But look at this chart. I mean, this looks very bearish, doesn't it? Looks like it's going to roll over at any moment. When it does roll over, best be sure tune in, because I will be piling on to that put train. But for now, why wouldn't you trade the trend? The trend is higher. Let's go into earnings, because I'm looking at earnings now. Again, the theme we've seen throughout. Look at this trend to the upside for the S&P 500 ETF, the spider, SPY. The theme has been the analysts continue to set. We're doing the low bar, right? They're just setting a low bar for earnings. So any kind of beat, we're going to see a significant move to the upside in a lot of stocks. It starts with Citigroup really before the bell on Tuesday. I like the stock for upside. I think it hit $60 in the next couple weeks. Coca-Cola broke below long-term support from 2009. This is something to watch. Are we going to come back up to this line and then fall? But Coca-Cola looks a little vulnerable here. Not sure if I'd trade it via options, but I'd rather get into Citigroup. And that's Tuesday before the bell. After the bell, we have Intel. Intel's been downgraded recently. You can see in this pattern we're having resistance up here at about the $24 level. So to me, earnings is going to either do 21 or 24. This might be a chance to do a strangler or straddle, or just sit and wait and see what happens after they report earnings. I think the main earnings report that we're looking for at the start of the week is going to be Yahoo, because Yahoo's been on such a tear. Look at the stock. It's up over 100% over the last 9 months, more than that actually. And you see, it pulled back recently this week when we had all the high flyers pulling back. Where is it going? I mean, is this 100% move from $15 over $35 warranted? The earnings that they're going to report after the bell on Tuesday. So are they going to back the move that the stock has seen? That's going to be interesting to me. Not something I'm going to trade probably over that evening. But unless the premium declines a little bit, let's look at Yahoo real quick and just see what the options are. Looking at for next week. We do this. There we go. The October options. Okay. Right now we're at 34.15 is what we close at. So for instance, look at the 35s. Yeah. So that's something we might be able to get into. 67 cents for the 35s, and we can look at the put side, 32 cents. So that's actually very inexpensive considering the move Yahoo has had. The market's not really pricing in much of a move, which is good. We have Bank of America reporting before the bell, and I love Bank of America for upside. I'm going to break this 14.30 level. The options are cheap, just like Yahoo. $15 calls for next week are, incredibly cheap, incredibly cheap. So I'm looking for Bank of America. I just might buy 10 of them. I'm not going to go crazy, but after the bell on Wednesday, we have an American Express, which is just off its all-time highs. The stock has recovered from its recent lows, is putting in possibly a lower high here. So it's going to be interesting to see how this works out for Monday and Tuesday. Heading into American Express earnings on Wednesday after the bell. Probably not something I'm going to trade. But later in the week we have COF, which is Capital One Financial, reporting earnings as well. If you want to look, though, from a technical perspective, I can draw a line across. I mean, this to me, I'll do it in horizontal lines. This is a beautiful channel, don't you think? And so if you want to look from a longer term perspective and go back on the stock for American Express, we're channeling, we're consolidating just like we did down here. And just like we did down here. So to me, it looks like we're going to break the trend is your friend, folks. Let's not stray from that. So let's move on. We have eBay. This is something I'm already in. and I'm going to get more of because I think this is going to break out. We have this beautiful channel here. We're going to break out to new recent highs. Okay, obviously, if you go back a little further, eBay was a high flyer in the past. I think it's going to break out to about $60 on earnings. $60. $60. And if you look at the option chain for eBay, very attractive, very nice looking. We have the eBay, for instance, at 54.37 right now. You can get the 55.50s for $1. I was looking to get into those. I'm going to wait a little bit. We have also, you can go out even further, 57s or 50 cents. I love eBay for upside. I love it. Love it. To me, if there's one trade you're going to make this week, you're going to buy eBay calls for earnings. And hopefully we'll get them a little cheaper on Monday when we have a little bit of kill, premium option premium kill over the weekend. We have SanDisk, which is floating near all-time highs here, broke above. See the same channel I'm pointing out. See consolidation breaking out, and that channel acted as support. We're over the $62 level, so we'll see earnings. To me, could vault this stock even higher. Again, I'm not going to get into the options. We have Goldman Sachs before the bell on Thursday. Goldman Sachs, see all these lines here. We have tremendous long-term support and resistance here. Right now, the support's at about 140. Then go across it. I would zoom in. Let me zoom in a little bit. I don't know what that line is. All right. So we have support here. Just pull this line across. We have support. We bounced off it this week. We're at 160. Exactly. Imagine that. At the end of an option, at the end of the week, it closes exactly at the strike price. So anyway, point is, I see upside. It's just been added to the Dow Jones Industrial Average as a Dow Jones Industrial Average component. So I look for upside here for Goldman Sachs. I think this recent pullback is a buying opportunity. The stock's going to have over 170, then 180, and then over $200 a share. Yeah, you heard it here first. UPB. Verizon took out the biggest loan in history. They hit the debt market and they took the biggest loan, like 200% more than anyone else, to buy Vodafone. You can see this long-term trend line from the middle of 2010. And I keep trying to zoom in. There we go. So what I would look for is possibly a retest of this, but we're going to look for upside here because I think a lot of people sold the stock based on their acquisition and the massive amount of debt they took on to make that acquisition. And here's COF, Capital One Financial, which is continuing just to melt higher. Now, something we used to trade maybe back in 2009, 2010 for upside. Maybe this is the time we get that big move to about $75 on COF, and that's after the bell on Thursday. This is going to be an exciting end to the week. We have Chipotle Mexican Grill upgraded today. Target, 525 by some firm. Hit new all-time highs. It's a lot of bean burritos and taco salads to make Chipotle Mexican Grill. Just think about it. When you go to Chipotle Mexican Grill, the guy or lady chopping up that meat back there is probably making more than you. Just chopping away. Hey, my 401k plan. Yeah, my stock is up 200% over the last couple of years. So. And then we go to Google. Google, I had a text alert this week, put it at private Twitter, and you can see what possible topping pattern has been defied. No, it's rejected. The Kim Olajuwon block shot. So we bounced off long-term 845 support. There's a great trade here, and you can see it's a 5-year weekly. We're doing pretty good. I'm looking for a move over $900 on earnings. We'll see how cheap the options get. This might be one of those times where you take a gander, take a chance on me. I'm the first in line. Baby, you're still in time. Take a chance on me. I don't even know the lyrics, but it sounds good. So we're looking for a 10-15% move to the upside for Google. Remember back in April 2007, it made a 20% move, and the 550 calls went from 55 cents to $50, something like that. So anyway, yeah, who cares? Nobody's paying attention these days. ISRG, which has had a nice move this week. I'd look for this level here as a possible target. Again, though, it's a very volatile stock heading into earnings, so you're not really going to be able to trade it cheaply by buying out-of-the-money calls or puts. So it'll be more something we could just, if you want to go long or short the stock, that's probably a better alternative than buying the options. Las Vegas Sands shot to new 52-week highs today. Look at that, closed right at it, 68. I think it was 68.35. I don't know what to say, it's 33. Look at the beautiful candle there. Today, up 3%. This is a stock now you go back longer term. Is trying to recapture those $100 levels, so it's down still 50% from its all-time highs. A lot of room to go to the upside. We'll see if earnings backs the move it's had recently. From the middle of June was at $47.50, so it's up $20, almost 50%. That's Las Vegas Sands after the bell on Thursday. So it's going to be a big week. Some stocks I like this week, aside from earnings, I like MLNX. Mellanox. Looks like to me it's ramped up. This is the lows it hit, 52-week lows after going over $100, and you pull in a longer term perspective. $120 stock pulled back to 32. Now looks like it's going to rally off its lows. I love MLNX, $42 calls for next week. I like Angie's List. Nobody likes it. Everybody hates it. Pull in a little closer. I love these support resistance lines that I've drawn in. We're right in the middle. We're right in the middle, and we're kind of in no man's land. But to me, the fact that it's hanging around this price after such a massive 35% decline tells me that we're bottoming here. Look at the volume. The volume's kind of backing it. We're seeing actually the selling volume let up a little bit. It's coiled. I think this stock could head back to 20. This would be the gap it has to fill, and it could happen like 3-4 days. It's gonna be blink your eyes, and if you didn't buy the calls, you'll be wishing you did. So that's my take on Angie's List. UNXL, I'm very bullish on this stock. I own some long-term calls. We're gonna break out of this wedge to the upside. Ultimately, by the end of the year, $40. Next year, $100. It's assuming they get their revenue. If they don't get the revenue, well, obviously the bears will be right. So it's going to fall to $1.50, and they'll come out with some other product. But for now, I love being in a stock that everybody hates, that nobody likes, and everybody thinks is going to fail. All right, it's UPB here from OptionMillionaires.com. So where's gold going? Bonds. We have big earnings. We have Citigroup, Coca-Cola, Intel, Yahoo, Bank of America, and American Express, eBay, SanDisk, Goldman Sachs, Verizon, COF, CMG, Google, ISRG, LVS, all after the bell on Thursday. Those big names. It's going to be a great week. And of course, we have the House, the Republicans, Democrats, hopefully coming together, resolving the shutdown, the government shutdown. I put it at OptionMillionaires.com. You want to look it up. Talked about how the government shutdown is just going to be another named buy the dip opportunity. And my goodness, we're up 400 points off the lows in the middle of the week. So, all right, 2PP here. Thanks for tuning in. It's going to be a great week. I'll see you in the chat room at OptionMillionaires.com. Solar City, one last stock. Got into the 41 calls yesterday at 30 cents. They went to $7 today. That's a beautiful run up. Solar City, I think, this to me is a consolidating pattern. Solar City is going to head over 50, and I'm going to be wishing I held on to all those calls that I sold for a huge profit. All right, UPB here. Everyone have a great weekend, and I'll see you Monday in the chat room at OptionMillionaires.com. Goodbye.